She paved the most unlikely path to politics. Canberra-born Fiona Patten worked in fashion design before falling into part-time sex work. Then in 2014, she took her place in Victorian Parliament as leader of the Australian Sex Party.
Yeah, last year the Sex Party was rebranded, making way for Reason, a political party she bills as a movement of radical common sense.
And Fiona Patten joins us now live from Melbourne. Fiona, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I've got to ask you firstly, what do you make of the absolute schmozzle, I guess, that happened last week in Canberra that led to the ousting of Malcolm Turnbull?
Look, I remember someone very wise talking to me when I first came into politics, and they were from a major party, saying, it's never the people in front of you that are your opponents, it's always the people behind you.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen this. Look, this is not what the community wants, and, you know, this kind of infighting is obvious in the lack of policy that they've been able to present and promote these last few months.
Yeah, I'm sure we all agree on that one. Fiona, as a female politician, how do you feel about Julie Bishop resigning as Foreign Minister and not getting a run at the top job?
I know, I was really disappointed in this, and you know, I don't know her personally, but I was always impressed by the way that she seemed to perform, and she seemed to be very straightforward, whether it was with the media, with her colleagues, or with those on the other side. And frankly, you know, the Liberal Party desperately needs a greater gender balance, and I think losing an icon like Julie Bishop is going to set them back even further.
Right, now to you personally, Fiona, you've just released your memoir, which we all think has the title of the year, Sex, Drugs and the Electoral Roll. What a great title.
I know.
It details how you went from sex worker to politician. So tell us about that transition and how difficult was it?
Look, it's funny, I actually said in my maiden speech, I may be the first sex worker to be elected into Parliament, but there's been thousands of clients that have come before me. Look, I don't think setting up a political party, it was never on my agenda, and certainly when I was working in Canberra in the 1990s, I don't think I ever thought I would be a politician. But it did politicise me, and I think it did. I learned a lot around discrimination, around health policy in that time of the early 90s when HIV was a massive issue, discrimination against sex workers, but also against the gay and lesbian community was big. And, yeah, looking back, I think that was when I did become political, but I don't think I ever thought I would be in politics.
So you're firmly in it now.
Yeah.
Of course, as we said, before the leadership crisis dominated the headlines recently, but for a while there, it was all about sex and politics.
Yes.
How do you think Barnaby Joyce handled the fallout from his affair?
Very badly, frankly. Look, I think for a start, he wasn't upfront, and that came back to bite him. I think he should have been receiving counselling throughout this, and also for his family. I just feel so sorry for his daughters, so sorry for his former wife, and so sorry for his new family that he did handle this incredibly badly. I don't think we need a bonk ban, but I certainly think that people like Barnaby, experienced operators like him, should have known how to deal with this in a more compassionate way.
Yeah, for sure. Fiona, over the years we've seen a number of women in Parliament leave their jobs to focus on their families.
Yeah.
In your opinion, do we need to keep more women in politics?
Oh, most definitely. You know, we actually just need greater representation of the community. And I think at the moment, you know, the white middle-aged man, as much as I love many of them, are not representative of the diversity of our community. And I would love to see a greater balance. Certainly I found in my experience that the collegiate ability of women does seem to be greater than men. You know, maybe I'm stereotyping, but I have found that I have been able to work with women from both sides of politics in a way that I'm not sure has been possible with men.
Hey, Fiona, one of your big achievements as leader of the Reason Party was initiating assisted dying laws in Victoria. I know Queensland's looking at this at the moment, but is it your hope that the bill will be expanded nationally?
Look, I think one step at a time. We were so pleased to get this up. I mean, it was a promise I made on the day I was elected to a dying man that I would push this campaign, and I did, and we finally saw legislation. Now that will actually come into operation in Victoria next year. So I think let's see how that operates. But I suppose it kind of shows what a minor party can do. Yeah. The two major parties could never touch this, and this is why it's never been able to be operational in other states. So I hope that we can lead the way in Victoria, and I think it is inevitable that the other states will follow. 80% of Australians want to see this law reform.
So right, absolutely. Yeah. Fiona, thank you so much for joining us. Fiona Patton's memoir is called Sex, Drugs and the Electoral Roll, and it is available right now.